So it's been a long time. I've been trying to think what I wanted to say when we finally got to this point. And it's just so much more to me than just like trying to get me in trouble. Over the last 5 years, I have worked so hard to get out of the things that I was doing that put me in.
What you're about to hear isn't just sentencing. It's the emotional fallout of a calculated attempt to destroy someone's life. This defendant didn't make a mistake or act impulsively. According to the court, this was deliberate, repeated, and dangerous. As the judge lays out the sentence, you can hear how seriously the court views what almost happened here, and why this case goes far beyond ordinary criminal behavior.
Prison. And for, going back and spending weeks looking at all the messages that went back and forth and how malicious it was. I had one day and made one bad decision. She did this for weeks and weeks. I've read the messages. And for her to say the only thing he cares about is this job at the recovery center, and I want to take it from him. I worked so hard to get away from my background, to have a job where I could help people and make a difference and not be another statistic and not end up back in prison or on the streets. And to just think that someone that said they loved me could just say, or even, I could see her saying it, but weeks and weeks of pushing it, messaging him, well, she was at my house, now's the time to do it. I know where his car's at now. Like, I don't understand. I know what it's like to need to get incarcerated. If I wouldn't have went to prison, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't have taken the time to get the help that I needed,
Here's where the legal reality hits. The advisory guidelines suggest anything from 0 to 11 months, but judges aren't robots, they're allowed discretion. And in this case, the court chooses jail time plus probation, along with multiple mandatory fees. This isn't just punishment, it's accountability. The judge is making it clear that actions like these carry long-term consequences, both financially and legally.
And I don't think one day in jail is ever going to stop her from doing this to someone else. If it wouldn't have happened the way it would, I might not be here right now. I might be back in prison. I might have ruined my career. I might have lost everything, and no one would have believed me. No one. If it wasn't for the one that turned in the messages and having them documented, no one would have ever known, and I would have been gone. And it's not fair. It's not right that to just try to take someone's life into your hands and throw it away because you've had a bad day. I would understand if I treated her poorly, if I put my hands on her, if I was mean to the children, none of that effort. And to have someone just want to hurt me like that, I can't imagine being that broken of a soul to want to hurt someone that bad. What's the worst part is I don't hate her. I just want her to get help. For her, for the kids, for whoever she comes in contact in the future. Because the person who did that, she's not where she needs to be. One thing that I guess it probably doesn't matter because it wasn't reported, but just not even a month ago, she was at a restaurant and ran into my niece and threatened to beat her ass in the middle of the restaurant with her children there, in front of everybody. So whatever gains and progress that she's made, she's not where she needs to be yet. And I hope that you guys can help her do that.
So a couple questions for you, sir. How did you meet Ms. Plumhoff?
We met through my little sister. They were acquaintances.
Okay. I only have a little bit of the police report. How do you know how Ms. Plumhoff came in contact with Like the person that was incarcerated that you want to set you up, you don't.
This is the moment the courtroom tone completely changes. The judge doesn't just rule, he condemns the behavior itself. Exploiting someone's past addiction, attempting to frame them with planted drugs, and repeatedly pushing the scheme crosses a line the court cannot ignore. The judge emphasizes how close this came to ruining an innocent man's life, and how rare it is for such a plan to fail before irreversible damage is done.
That individual?
The way it was explained to me is when me and her got together, she was in a relationship with that person. And when me and her made it official or whatever, she broke it off with him because he's in prison. What is he going to do? You know, all she has to do is not answer the phone. So that was her boyfriend, I guess, up until I had got with her.
Okay. Anything else that you want to say, sir?
I just want to thank the court for whatever it is they're going to do. And hopefully I'll have a peace of mind for a little while, because obviously I'm a mess. Like, I literally moved 3 hours away to not have to worry about running into her at a store or anywhere, you know what I mean? Because of, I don't know. I worked in Nuevo for a little while in one of the recovery centers that was up here, and going through a drive-through, I had a girl let me know that she was still trying to mess with me and that this was my number and this is where I lived. And so I just don't want to have to worry anymore. I'm a grown man. I shouldn't be crying over what this woman could do to me.
Thank you, sir. All right, the court recognizes that the advisory guidelines in this case would suggest a sentence between 0 and 11 months. The courts can exercise my discretion and it's consistent with the advisory guidelines, consistent with the plea agreement in this case. It would be the sentence of the court that this defendant served 120 days in the Nuevo County Jail. I'll give her credit for the 1 day that she served so far. I'm going to place her on probation for 2 years.
Despite defense requests for leniency, the court draws a firm line. Medical concerns can be reviewed later, but today jail is unavoidable. The message is clear. Calculated harm will not be negotiated away. This case stands as a warning. Manipulation and deceit don't just backfire, they escalate punishment. If you agree with the judge's decision, comment below. Like the video, and subscribe for more real courtroom moments and breakdowns like this.